A few years ago, my business was in a very different place. I was constantly worried and stressed, riddled with indecision and second guessing myself. I didn't trust the decisions that I made, and when I made the wrong choice, I just beat myself up. It was a spiral of negative self talk that was slowly ruining my business, not to mention my sanity. I had a side hustle that I loved, and I wanted it to replace my day job, and it worked for a while. Until it didn't. Then I hired a coach and I learned so much about how the mind works. I learned that things we think are fact are 100% not. We think that they're just the way it is, that it's true, but really it's just a belief. It's a thought that I have had over and over and over again until I don't even think about it anymore. I believe it to be true, and so I act as though it's true, and it becomes true. It was so eye-opening. I literally felt like my brain exploded one day, and everything that I'd thought for the past 50 years was complete and utter BS. It kind of rocked my world, and it made me see that things didn't have to continue to be like this. I could change it anytime I wanted. I loved coaching so much that I went through an extensive training program and I became a certified mindset coach myself. So let's talk about why you've been unable to make your side hustle profitable enough to quit your day job and start living the life you deserve. Today, we're talking about millionaire mindset thoughts. Thoughts that millionaires have that other people don't. And quite frankly, this is why they are millionaires and you are not. So let's figure out how we can get you thinking these things as well. Thought number one, they are not afraid to make a decision, so they think that any decision they make will work and it will be the right decision for them. They never think to themselves, "Oh, I'm so afraid I'm going to make the wrong decision." Most people are afraid to make the wrong decision. I struggled with this for so long, so I totally understand where you're coming from. You have an idea, it really excites you, and you jot down notes about it, about what you can do and how you can do it and how great it would be. And then your brain says, "Oh, hey, hold on. That's not going to work. Let's talk about all of the reasons why this is the stupidest idea you've ever had." So maybe you make a list of pros and cons, and the cons side ends up being a lot longer than the pros side. You have this desire to do the thing, but you're so worried that it's going to be the wrong decision that you don't do anything. Here is what I want to tell you. There is very little in life that is 100% permanent. Even a tattoo on your face is not 100% permanent. You can get that sucker removed if you really want to. But what is the worst that could happen? You make the decision, you go all in, you commit to moving forward with this new option, and you really give it a fair shot. And then maybe a year later, you decide that it's not really what you want to do anymore. You just make a new decision. That's it. You can change your mind anytime you want. It's not that big of a deal. So if you have truly committed to making it work, and after doing it for a while, you realize that it's either not effective, or you hate it, or it's just taking too much time and energy, and there's something else that you'd rather be doing instead, it's okay to make a new decision. So decide to decide. Make the decision and don't sit there and second guess yourself for the next 2 months. Been there, done that. It does not help. It does not make the process easier. Instead, it's like trying to walk up a hill with a ball and chain tied around your ankle. You're just making it so much harder than it needs to be. Make your decision, commit, and move on. Millionaire mindset thought number two. Instead of saying, "I don't know," they say, "How can I figure this out?" When you say to yourself, "I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do this. I don't know what I want," it's like being in a speeding car on the freeway in the fast lane and then slamming on the brakes. As soon as your brain offers up, "I don't know," you need to put the kibosh on that immediately. "I don't know" will keep you stuck. "I don't know" will prevent you from taking action, from making any decisions, from doing anything that will move your business forward. If you continue to tell yourself, "I don't know," then you continue to not know. Instead, ask yourself, what if I did know? If I did know what to do, what would that be? How can I learn what I need to know? How can I figure out how to make this happen? What is the best way for me to learn how to do this? I was in a coaching session not long ago, and the coach said, "I never make myself wrong." And I love this thought so much. I never make myself wrong. No matter what I do, no matter what choice I make, no matter what thing I try, even if I fail miserably at it, I don't make it mean anything about my ability, my self-worth, myself. Maybe it was something that you tried and it flopped big time. Don't make yourself wrong for having tried it. If you try something and it fails, you've now learned what not to do next time. You've learned what is not effective. And honestly, that's just as important, if not more important, than learning what is effective. So the next time you're thinking about something and your brain offers up, I don't know how to do that, I want you to put up your hand like a traffic cop and say, stop. That is not helpful. Yes, I do know. And if I didn't know what to do, what would that look like? And then just wait for some new ideas to come to you. They may not come to you right now. They may come to you in the shower or right before you fall asleep at night or first thing in the morning. I love to ask myself a question right before I go to bed at night, and then my brain just ruminates on it all night long. And then in the morning I wake up and I'd like have this amazing idea over coffee in the morning. I'm telling you, it works. Millionaire mindset thought number 3. Millionaires never think to themselves, it's too hard, I can't do this. Instead, they think, how can it be easy? This is one of my favorite questions in the whole world. When I was first creating my coaching business, it was actually very easy because I didn't really know what to do. I just kind of figured it out as I went along. And I think that really helped me because by not having a million different options, I didn't sit there and just agonize over what I should do. Kind of like when you don't know what you don't know, you're not overwhelmed because you don't have 50 options sitting in front of you. It's kind of like when I go to an all-you-can-eat Chinese buffet. There is so much food and I want freaking all of it. I want the sushi and the peel and eat shrimp and the sweet and sour chicken and the pot stickers and the wonton soup and the hot and sour soup and the egg drop soup and the rice and the noodles. And I try to take some of everything. Well, that doesn't work out so well because within 15 minutes, I'm totally stuffed and I can't finish all of the food that I took and I didn't even get to try half of it. Or maybe I took one bite of everything before I was too full. Telling yourself that you're overwhelmed is as bad as thinking, I don't know. It's going to stop you in your tracks. If you feel overwhelmed, you're going to avoid making any decisions at all. I know when I feel overwhelmed, I watch too much TV, I eat too much junk food, I drink a little too much wine, I don't work on my business at all. I basically avoid working and I do other things instead. So by being overwhelmed, I get zero done and I continue to feel overwhelmed, and it's just a big self-fulfilling prophecy. Instead of saying, this is too hard, I can't do it, millionaires ask themselves, what would it look like if it were easy? How could I make this business model as simple as possible? When I started asking myself that question, I went from working crazy, insane hours to hiring my first virtual assistant. And she still works with me to this day, and it's been years. She literally saved my sanity and probably saved me from having a heart attack because I was working so many hours. I was trying to do everything myself. I was working my day job and my side hustle, and I was making videos, editing videos, building a website, making landing pages, building free PDF downloads, setting up email sequences, learning how to use Zapier so I could tie everything together, doing my books, paying my bills, paying my taxes. But what it comes down to is I didn't trust anyone to be able to help me because I was afraid to delegate. I was afraid to manage people. I was afraid that I wouldn't be a good manager because I had told myself that I don't know how to manage people. Once I stopped for 5 minutes and just thought, how could this be easy? A light bulb went off in my head. It said, hire someone to deal with your email. Email is one of the biggest time sucks for me, and if you've ever listened to Michael Hyatt, it definitely falls into my drudgery zone. So I hired a virtual assistant for just a few hours a week, nothing crazy. I was afraid to pay somebody a lot of money, but I also knew that we go out to eat an awful lot. And if I could just cut out one of those meals a month, it would be enough to pay for this virtual assistant. Once she started answering emails for me, I felt like I got my whole day back. It was so liberating. So then I thought, what else could she do? I gave her more and more tasks. And yes, I paid her for more hours, but what is your hourly rate? What is your time worth? If you want to make $100,000 a year and you work 2,080 hours a year, in college, I was an HR assistant for a software company for a while. So I know that if you work 40 hours a week and take 2 weeks of vacation, it comes out to be 2,080 hours a year. $100,000 divided by 2080 is $48 an hour. So your hourly rate is $48 an hour. Would you pay somebody $48 an hour to answer your email, mail letters, respond to comments on your YouTube videos, edit your videos? Probably not. These are tasks that are more like $10 to $20 an hour tasks. If you pay someone $10 an hour or $20 an hour, but you get all of your time back, you are now able to do the things that the business owner does to grow the business. Come up with new ideas and new offers. Make videos, go live, be a guest on someone's podcast. Accept speaking engagements. Show up in the world to offer value and promote your product or service. Those are the things that only you can do as the visionary of your business. Just outsource all the rest. Now that you're well on your way to managing your mind, let's talk about how to create value in the world in order to make your first $100,000. In this next video, I'll show you exactly how to create value not only for your customers, but for yourself too.